Could you imagine Martha Stewart becoming a local hometown detective solving crimes instead of going on house arrest for insider trading? Talk about murder she cooked. Hi, I'm your host, Garrett K. Jones, and for the final episode of Author Awareness August, I'm interviewing Texas-based mystery writer Carolyn L. Dean. Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I have a couple of announcements before we get started. First up, if you haven't gotten caught up on my podcast, you're really missing out. The most recent episode features a piece of meditative poetry meant to stimulate the recollection of a memory with as much sensory detail as possible. Check out this promo. There are just a handful of episodes left in the season and only 2 official slots remaining. If you're interested in registering your short story or poetry and have it featured in an episode all on its own, the link is down below in the description box. For $5, you get guaranteed airtime on the podcast, and you get to have the option of being interviewed about your work and what inspired it. Second announcement. Today is the reveal of the new cover art for Book 3, Rise of the Shadowkin, and Book 4, Hadrian Corvus of Farfell. I am super excited because I've really enjoyed the uniformity that the new cover art provides. So check this out. This is the new art for Book 3. And this is the new art for Book 4. The artist that did the work has done a supremely awesome job of keeping the themes from the original art while giving the revamped designs a flair that is exclusively singular. Now, if you're interested in picking up copies of my work, the links to Amazon are down in the description box. And you can find all 4 books in paperback and Kindle editions. Before going any further with the video, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon for notifications on new videos. You can select notifications for all videos, or you can select notifications based on your preferences. If you're watching on your phone, be sure to update those settings inside the app itself to get the most out of your viewing experience. Hi Carolyn, thanks for joining me. Tell me about your work. What do you write?
Hi Garrett, thanks so much for having me on your vlog today. I appreciate it. I write in several different genres. The one I'm best known for is cozy mysteries. And when I first heard that term, I didn't know what it was either. Cozy mysteries tend to be very character-driven mysteries. They a lot of times will have not have explicit gore, they won't have explicit sex. There are people who write paranormal cozy mysteries, and those maybe have witches in them, or talking animals, or things like that. Not my style. I write an old-fashioned style, which is based on a lot of small towns, characters that the readers get to know, kind of find out they're a little quirky, and an environment that maybe would be fun for them to go visit. And that's why I love writing the genre that I'm currently working on.
So how did you get into writing? Was it a lifelong dream or a recent passion?
I know some people didn't start off wanting to write, but I knew I wanted to write early. I remember it was about third grade. I came home with my lunch pail, set it down, and told Mom I want to be an author. So I wrote for myself, but mostly told stories in my head, but also did writing for the books that I wish someone would write for me. And what happened was, unfortunately, like all of us, I grew up, got those adult responsibilities, and my writing kind of faded into the background while I went through college and marriage and jobs and bills and normal boring grown-up stuff. When I was in my 50s, I had been widowed and remarried, and I had a coworker that was able to quit her job and also have her husband quit his job because she had started self-publishing. And let me tell you, that got my attention, that maybe it would be possible that this would be a viable way to add income or make a living and be able to tell all those stories in my head. So I started 5 years ago self-publishing. Took me about a year to get all the information together, and before I actually published anything. And I've been full-time now for a little bit over 3 years. And yes, there's a reason Mom was right that I wanted to start writing from the time I was small. It seems to have worked out just fine.
What are some of your inspirations as a writer?
I get my inspiration from a lot of places. I'm one of those annoying people who takes dictated notes on their phone, who always seems to have Post-its and a pen in their purse. If I hear a snippet of language, I really love different idioms and styles of language. If somebody's odd story over here or an interesting character on the street makes me think of something that may wind up in a book. It took me a while to figure out that writing is the best thing to do is really use your own author voice. And it took me a while to figure out that my author voice, what's natural to me is this almost old-fashioned language, but also that it's a little snarky, a little sarcastic, that I was drawn to certain types of description. And once I figured that out, then I was able to figure out what was my heart for writing, and that wound up being Cozy Mysteries.
What has been the hardest part or biggest challenge in the creation of your work?
My biggest challenge is going to sound very weird, but most writers, even the ones who have never published anything, go through it. And it's called imposter syndrome. If you don't know what that is, it's the time when you write something and even if you've been very successful, you wonder about, am I a hack? Am I good enough? If I've published books before, is this book going to be something that the readers will still like? And I had a couple years where my sales were extremely good, things were going well, and I had this weird wave of imposter syndrome hit me that really rattled my confidence. I can't trace it back to anything specific except the fear of letting people down, of putting out something that they wouldn't love. It wasn't to the level of what they'd expect for those characters and those stories I told in the past. I know people who have never published that have fear like that, and also people who are extraordinarily successful and have imposter syndrome too. I'm happy to say that now I've gone through a move cross country. I'm back producing again, feeling confident again, and a little bit of time away has given me a chance to feel confident in those stories and in the details of what's going to happen to those characters that I love.
If you could give any advice to other would-be authors out there, what would you tell them?
If I have one piece of advice for writers, this goes for new writers and for unpublished authors as well, I would say go for it. Go for it. There's never a better time to put your work out into the world. Look, I know it's scary, but if you have somebody who doesn't love your work, it's okay. It just means they're not your audience. No matter who you are, if you're J.K. Rowling, you're going to have people who don't love the book and are going to say so. That's all right. The most rewarding thing I've ever had happen as an author has not been the paychecks. It hasn't been things like that. It's getting an email from somebody who says, hey, your silly little book, and that's my word, but has gotten me through chemo. or a really bad divorce. Your words can make somebody's life better, whether it's by entertaining them, by educating them, by inspiring them. Don't wait. Don't just sit there and tweak commas. Don't do 14 passes on it. Make it beautiful. Get it out in the world. The world's going to love you. I hope you have a wonderful time as a writer and author, and I wish you all the best in the world.
A big thank you goes out to Carolyn for her willingness to participate in this Author Awareness August interview. Now, if you're interested in picking up copies of Carolyn's work, you can find her books on Amazon by clicking on the link down below and going to her Amazon author page. You can also find more information on her current projects by going to her website, carolyndeanbooks.com, and by following her like I do on Twitter at carolyndeanbooks and Instagram at Carolyn_Dean_books. Hey, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, please make sure to like and share this video because that's how this channel is going to grow its viewership. If you find yourself in a position to be able to do so, please consider becoming a channel supporter by clicking on the link in the description box and going to patreon.com/GKJpublishing. On that site, you will find support tiers of $1, $3, and $5. Each tier comes with its own sweet perks, plus you get recognition on the final video of the month. One very special perk that all tiers share right now is that you'll have early access to the Season 3 premiere episode 2 weeks before it's set to premiere on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, you'll have until the premiere release of the Season 3 opener to access the vlog's Season 1 playlist. Once that episode goes live, Season 1 will be hidden from general access. The videos will still be available in their individual playlists like Author Awareness or Forming Fantasy, but those episodes won't be available in their original release order. Don't forget to register your short story or poetry for Season 3 Storytellers. Be on the lookout for more content, even though I'll technically be on hiatus. And make sure to connect with me on Instagram and Twitter at GKJ_publishing. In fact, Instagram is a great way to connect with me on that extra content since I will be doing little blurbs on IGTV. Have a great weekend, and I will see you guys on social media and in October for Season 3. Jones out. The vlog of the Five Kingdoms is filmed without the use of a live audience at Skyrocket Studios in Hanford, California. We can't do what we do without your help, so please make sure to subscribe by clicking the button that's above my head, and make sure to watch and share the videos over here to my left. Have a great week.